been a while.
Feeling good?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So why don't you start with where you grew up, your childhood? You can just look at me.
Okay. Well, my name is Tony Cupstead. That is not my real name. I hated my real name.
Wow, what was your real name?
Wilburn Conway Cupstead.
Okay.
My mother hated the name. I don't know. My father named me that for some reason. And I just never liked it. And I wanted something cooler, you know?
Tony's cooler.
I got called Willie Burn, Will Burn, you know, just every
Name in the book.
yeah. And it was so yes, growing up in the South, my entire family was an atomic family. They all lived within a block of each other. And family, I mean cousins, aunts and uncles, and they just all right there. And it was nice as a kid. I loved my family at the time, and my grandmother, my father's side, this was his side of the family. He was kind of the nightmare of the family. He was a sociopath, and I mean, he would just do weird things, threaten people, you know.
The kids.
Yeah, he his scam was getting money any way he can. From early on, cops would come to my grandmother's door, arrest them while we were sleeping, and but he was pulling cons like wrecking, buying cars or leasing them. I don't know the whole process. He would get insurance on them and then wreck them. He did that all the time, and he knew I was gay from very early on. So one time he came back, I was over at my grandmother's house, and he comes up with this little white MG kind of car, a convertible, and said that it was for me. I was like 14. I wasn't even legally able to drive.
Right.
And I'm like, and I knew it was the car he was going to wreck. And he said, oh, I'm going to show it to you, but then first I'm going to take it out and drive it and see, you know, blah, 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 blah. It was bullshit. Sure enough, he came back a few hours later and was wrecked.
Wow, within a few hours.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, is this your father or an uncle?
Father.
Father, okay.
Oh, yes. He's abusive towards my mother. He played Russian roulette in bed with her. And this was from her mouth. And I had a rough childhood with him. I never liked him. But as I got older, for me to heal myself, I had to forgive him. Before he passed away, I forgave him, and I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't want to be around him, but yeah,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, thanks.
How about your relationship with your mom, I'm sure she dealt with obviously she dealt with a lot too.
She was still stuck in the Christianity for the Pentecostal religion, and she still is. And I've tried to be open with her. She was when she decided to divorce my father before he died. They said that she had to leave the church because it was sinful to divorce. But the one preacher, his name was Brother Triplet, who I really liked. And he was really kind, and so he said, "Don't be gone too long." so, but she left out. She left for years, and was a happy woman. My brother and I both had kind of a feeling of paganism. Within our systems, and it felt like our mother had that too.
What do you mean by that?
Like she was really addicted to spent thousands of dollars on calling psychic hotlines. It helped her, I guess. My brother caught on to it before I did, and I saw that she's like, maybe she has some witchcraft in her. But I definitely grew up feeling like I was pagan, at least,
Okay, so that was from a young age.
Yeah. I mean, I was at a friend's house one day. We were watching TV, and it was my best friend David, and we were, as a Stevie Nicks video came on, Edge of 17, I think the song was. I didn't know anything about Fleetwood Mac, but then his sister comes out and says, she's a witch. I just drew me in. Was just happy to hear she was a witch. I found out also there was a cassette tape that I had from somewhere. I don't know where it came from, but Neil Diamond was also a witch. Information just kept coming to me, but in a very good way.
Yeah. Do you still practice to this day? Do you still
I've never really practiced. Ghosts that lived at my house, where I lived in Hollywood, and that's where I did my hair clients. Some people came over, and it was a house that it was an apartment building. There was two of them, and they were built in 1927. And I loved it. I loved it there, and I finally made it my own. From the first time I had this one client, he was like 20, he was young. And my friend brought him over to get his hair cut. And he's like, tell Tony what you can do. He's like, I can see a ghost. And he was completely annoyed by it. And
annoyed by the ghosts?
Just the fact that he had the ability. He just was tired of talking about it. He knew it from an early age. In fact, his father took him to an opera one time, and this entity came up in his ear, sat down beside him, and screamed in his ear the entire opera. So yes.
That could drive someone crazy.
Yeah. So there are, but luckily I never attracted that. But so that's how I got to know. I asked him if he would look around my apartment to see if I had any ghosts living here, since it's so old. And he comes back after 2 minutes and it's like, you have a ghost, a female ghost that lives here. She's extremely happy here. And she is kind of stuck in the 60s, the way she looks. She has kind of a beehive hairdo. And she just doesn't understand the decor of the house. But she loved it there. And so...
Did she die in the house or something?
Yeah, probably. Maybe, I don't know. I never asked. So eventually I realized I had 2 more ghosts.
In the same apartment.
Yeah. And I mean, this was an old, beautiful Victorian house. I created weird stuff in there, and because also I'm an artist, and things I sculpt. I just made it an odd place. Yeah. When I moved in the early '90s, it was when I first got sober. I was using meth and yeah.
Till what age?
It was only 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah. But before that I was drinking, and my first boyfriend that I moved to Atlanta with, we were together for 4 years, and then my brother came to live with me in Atlanta, and we had a great time. And
is that the oldest, or is he?
Yeah, I'm the old. Yeah.
So nice.
And he always followed me wherever I moved to, and I would play this album. I remember the album. It was a band called Talk Talk. And really great band, but it would always stop at a certain section, so I just blamed it on the CD. I mean the cassette. And I was walking downstairs, and the music stopped again. My brother was there. I'm like, he's like, I was just watching TV, and I can't control the channel. And I'm like, well, why don't you go turn on back on the my cassette player, and let's see if somehow. I was just kind of freaking him out. Yeah, but as soon as he did, the TV went from not working to flashing, going from 1 to 100 consistently. I can control it with a remote.
You mean the volume? Or
No,
the channels?
the channels. It just relent. I mean, it was just crazy. I was just like, wow, okay, this is weird. It's never done that before. And met this guy. I was showing around the apartment, and like, oh, you've got a cat. And I'm like, no, I'm highly allergic to cats, at least in the South. I'm not out here. It's weird. And that night, I get in bed, turn out the light, and I heard a small, like a little pony or something about this galloping down the hallway into my bedroom, under my bed, and bumped my bed up. I called the guy the next day, and I was like, why didn't you ask me if I had a cat? He's like, well, was looked, there was this huge black cat sitting under your bed, and then when you see you were allergic, I looked and he wasn't there. And so I'm like, it might be just a cat, a dead cat looking for its owner. So I thought about it, and I thought, so I started talking to it. And I told him, or that its owner wasn't here. I don't know if she died or he died or what, but you should move on. And then after that, never saw it again. I want to tell you how I got into this. I met this girl. I don't remember how we met, but we became instant friends. And she said, I want to take you to this club that you're going to love. And it was my first club I was taken to. And my roommate went with me, who was the witch. So we get there, and it was an old laundromat. The music I could hear from inside. We had to wait outside because it was a holiday weekend, and everybody was anxious to get in. Everybody in line was so eccentrically tattooed or pierced up, and piercings. And one guy had ring piercings going down his entire chest, and then had laced up like a corset. And I'm like, I remember saying to myself, I'm home. So, yeah, it was a really happy time. I was enchanted, and so I kept going back. Then I got into meth. I met a guy, very unusual looking, but attractive, and he took me back to his place over on 9th and Western, I think. I was doing meth, coke,
and alcohol in the same
oh
time?
yes. Well, I moved in with the boyfriend that got me on meth, and then my assistant in film, I was working on this project, and she was supplying me meth, and the whole freaking set was meth. The director, everything. Never showed up for directing shots because he was having sex on the roof with a
actor.
Yeah, and my friend found me. My assistant says, I'm taking you to this place. He's a really nice guy. But he's a homophobe, and his friends are homophobes. And I'm like, I was dressed from clubbing that night, with black vinyl pants and boots and just everything. I'm like, you're taking me there now? And I'm like, okay. And she's like, it'll be fine. And as soon as I walked in, he was just like, Tony, you're amazing. Hey, I've never met a gay guy like you. I was like, thanks. So it was instant love. I could tell he had a crush on me. So he was making meth, crystal meth, the one from that show Breaking Bad, same stuff. So he was giving me that every day, all day long, just giving it to me. But then one day, he says, I'm going to be going to court over this thing, and that I did. And he wouldn't tell me what he did, but he said there were two witnesses that witnessed this. And he called up one of his old gang member friends and had them killed. And there was a third person that was innocent of all this, and she was killed too. I was thinking to myself, I have to get out of here. But I got back to Atlanta, and I realized everybody was on meth. Called up my friend immediately that I knew this actor. I knew he was in AA, and I said, I'm on meth. I've been on meth, cocaine, all that. I need to get sober now. He said, come over here, grab your stuff. He took me to a meeting that morning. It was Saturday morning. I loved it. I was sober from that day on. Never did ever again drug. And I started meeting people. People just wanted to be your friend. That's all they wanted. They just wanted to be your friend. Like in 2003, I came down. I had migraines. I never even get headaches, and but I was getting these migraines, and then my gums in the back of my teeth were swelling up over my teeth, and then my last ordeal was my chin went completely numb. And I was like, so I went to see a dentist, and they did like 100 x-rays because I was so I was beyond desperate. And these migraines were killing me. They took like 100 x-rays, they said, and they said, you have better teeth than we do. My friend took me to Cedars-Sinai to get blood work done. 3 hours later, they said, Mr. Gupp said, you have cancer. And I was like, I don't know if I fainted or if they put me under immediately. But I was moved up to the third floor, which is the best wing to be on for cancer people. You have your own private room. You have around the clock nurses, and my doctor, when I first saw him, he comes in and he's like, you need to fill out a will, and you need to stop smoking. So I was like, it just didn't faze me that I was dying. And I found out this one particular cancer, Burkitt's lymphoma, kills you. You can be fine beginning of the month and be dead. When I was kind of out of it, I was on morphine or something, and if should we call your mother? And I said, no. I'm thinking, yeah, call her. So I don't want to leave this world and not say, goodbye. My mom and my best friend used to be my boyfriend, and they were. It was time for people to, visitors to leave, and the lights were out in my room, but the hallway lights were still on, and this little Indian woman comes in and asks if she could play me a song. She had her sitar with her, and she was playing this music, and I closed my eyes, and it was astounding. The music sounded like a full orchestra. My eyes went totally black. I mean, blacker than black. So and then I saw myself floating in just blackness. It wasn't space, no stars, nothing. And I was just floating there naked. And all of a sudden, during the music, these bronze orbs, different sizes, came out of it's been a while. They came out of everywhere. It started circulating through my body. Wow, I haven't talked about this in a while. And so for the entire song, these orbs were just like circulating throughout my entire body, head, toes, feet, and everything. And and then the music started slowing down, and the orbs were starting to disappear, go back to where they were. And I didn't realize what had happened. I just thought it was something I had visioned, And so I opened my eyes, and I'm like, immediately, I told the woman, "You have to record that music. You have." You're sitting on a gold mine. I'm like, and my mom and my friend were like, all they heard was the sitar. And, but I wish I had looked for her afterwards. Because the next day was the first treatment. Of chemo. And a few hours later, my doctor comes in and is like, he was like doing somersaults almost to my room. And it's like, Mr. Cupson, there's no trace.
Wow.
Okay. It was amazing. There's absolutely no trace of your cancer at all. And okay, I have to get myself together. And I realized it was she had something to do with causing that vision, or someone was. She was in there, and I wish I had looked for her. So I've had miraculous things happen. And
Was that the reason behind?
uh,
Was that the reason behind the coffins?
yeah, no, the whole coffin thing happened when I had met my friend Gaetano, and who was very Gothic also. But I got rid of it. Rid of my coffins after cancer.
But I like how you stopped sleeping in the coffin after you were.
Yeah, it's because when I first moved here, I tried several times in Atlanta while I was going to cosmetology school. I go and take lunch breaks in my car and try to read Interview with a Vampire, because I heard so much about it. And I have never sat and read a book as thick as that. She was so detailed. I read that in one day. Started my obsession with vampires and sexy vampires, and I got into making Halloween costumes, very elaborate Halloween costumes, because I wanted to scare people. I didn't just want to scare them. I wanted to scare them at their religious core. So I would do all kinds of demon kind of characters. That was another reason I got into coffins.
Any hopes and dreams for the future? Any goals?
I want to move back to LA. I want to be back with my friends. I keep in touch with them, but
I hope you get to do that really soon.
Oh, I do. We've all gotten older, and sure, there are so many stories I can tell you.
You can't put a human life into
This has been amazing.
I'm glad
to talk about.
That makes me so happy. It's been such a pleasure.
Yeah.
And thank you for kind of trusting me without really knowing me. I appreciate that. That says a lot about your character.
You have that energy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Awesome.
Thank you.